Okay, here we are at lesson 10.4, multi-step measurement problems. How can you solve multi-step problems that include measurement conversion? So we're going to take what we've been learning about how we converted, pounds and ounces, inches, feet, yards, miles, and what else did we do? Is that it? Into, and we might have to do more than one step in our problem. So here is our problem today. Oh, a leaky faucet. A leaky faucet in Jared's house drips 2 cups of water each day. After 2 weeks of dripping, the faucet is fixed. If it dripped the same amount each day, how many quarts of water dripped from Jared's leaky faucet in 2 weeks? Step 1, record the information. The faucet drips, how many cups?
2.
2 cups of water each day. The faucet dripped for
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Find the total amount of water dripped in 2 weeks. Since you are given the amount of water dripped each day, you must convert 2 weeks into days. So how many days in a week?
7.
And if we have, well, it says days in 2 weeks. 14. And 2 times 14 is?
28.
Why are we taking it times 2? Because that is the cups it leaks each day. 28. The faucet drips 28 cups of water in 2 weeks. There are 7 days in a week. Step 3, convert from cups to quart. Think. There are 2 cups in 1 pint. 2 cups in 1 pint. And how many pints in 1 quart?
2.
2 pints in 1 quart. So Jared's leaky faucet drips blank quarts of water. So what are we going to divide 28 by to get the number of quarts? There's 2 cups in a pint and 2 pints in a quart. How many cups are in a quart?
4.
4. So 28 divided by 4 is 7. So it drips 7 quarts of water. Here, maybe this will help. 28 cups equals 14 pints. And 14 pints equals 7. Okay, so there's a what if at the bottom of page 417. It says, what if the faucet dripped for 4 weeks before it was fixed? How many quarts of water would it leak? What did we find for 2 weeks? So what do we need to do to our answer to get it to 4 weeks? Multiply it by 2 or double it. So in 4 weeks it would leak how many quarts? No, we're going to double 7. 14 quarts. That's what goes on that line under the what if. 14 quarts. Okay, now we're going to go on to the example on page 418. It says a carton of large grade A eggs weighs about 1.5 pounds, or 1 5/10 pounds. If a carton holds a dozen eggs, how many ounces does each egg weigh? In ounces, find the weight of a carton of eggs. 1 pound equals how many ounces? Remember from last week? 16. So we're going to have 1.5, and then it says ounces in a pound, 16, and we're going to have to multiply that. So let's take 16 times 1.5. What is 5 times 6?
30.
5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is
8.
So your place value, and we have 1 decimal. So the total ounces is 24 ounces. So a carton of eggs weighs about 4 ounces. Step 2. In ounces, find the weight of each egg in a carton. 1 carton, or a dozen eggs, is how many eggs? How many is in a dozen? 12. So 24 divided by 12 is what? 2. So each egg weighs about 2 ounces. Okay, we're going to work through the Sharon show. It doesn't give me number 1, so we're going to work through that. After each soccer practice, Scott runs 4 sprints of 20 yards each. If he continues his routine, how many practices will it take for Scott to have sprinted a total of 2 miles? First of all, he sprints. How many sprints? 4 sprints at 20 yards. So how far does he sprint every day?
20 yards.
20 times 4. 80 yards. That goes in your first. So each practice he sprints 80 yards. Okay, that's your first blank. Since there are 3,520 yards, how many yards in 1 mile? Was it 1,760? Right? 1,760 in a mile, that's yards. So we would have to double that for 2 miles. Let's see if we recalled that correctly. Oh, it must not be 60, it must be 50. Alright, so I had a little miscalculation, so there are 3,520 yards in a mile. Fill that in on your paper. 3,520 yards in 2 miles. He will need to continue his routine for what? How are we going to find out how many? The question was, will it take Scott to sprint 2 miles? So 3,520. How many does he do every day? 80. 4. 32. So how many days is it going to take him?
44.
44 practices. Okay, I want you to, if you're home watching this, I want you to work through number 2 in the Sharon show on page 418. And then, so stop your recording and do that. And then I want you to come back and check it. Okay, now that you've stopped your recording, had some time to work on that, let's talk through it. Each bag is 5 pounds, and there are 12 of them in a box. The worker at the mill is loading 5-pound bags of flour into boxes to deliver to a local warehouse. Each box holds 12 bags of flour. If the warehouse orders 3 tons of flour, how many boxes are needed to fulfill the order? So 5 times 12 is 60. We're going to divide. 1 ton is 2,000. So 2,000, they want 3 tons, times 3 would be 6,000. So we've got to divide that 6,000. This is pounds. 6,000 pounds by 60. Goes in there 1 time. And then it won't go anymore. Okay, so they would have to have 100 boxes to make their 3 ton.